Speaking of the criminal justice reform in border states, we have Biden and Trump that are both going to Texas. Biden's going to Brownsville. Trump is going to Eagle Pass. And Biden's using the trip as a way to push this bill. And they are acting as though that it absolutely has to be done, even though they could have, if Democrats were as serious about immigration as they had claimed, they could have done this with H.R. 2. Congressman Chip Roy, we talked to him about that just not too long ago. They could have done H.R. 2 last year, but they didn't. So I can't really take them seriously, their claimed desire to want to make sure that we have resources needed at the border, because this isn't about that. This bill that they want to push through, this is that supplemental to Ukraine. And I'm tired of the push with it. I'm tired. They had on Fox last week, there was like an hour-long thing with Zelensky. Like, really? We've heard enough. We've heard enough. The problem is you don't know where the money's gone. You don't even know where it's going to go. You don't even know what the stated objective is going to be. And there's just a lot of false stuff that's being claimed in all of this. And I get really tired of hearing warmongering people who are eager to send your loved ones off to war, but they themselves aren't signing up, if you notice. They're the ones who constantly beat the drum that, well, it's going to be Russia. They're going to challenge NATO. Russia can't even challenge Ukraine. It should have been easy for a country of Russia's size and place in history, and they're barely holding on to their butts. You think they're actually going to roll through Ukraine, come out stronger, and then immediately go and challenge NATO? Because that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. It's a weak attempt to try to act as though their imperialist tendencies have been reborn and they have the resources and the manpower to do it. They don't. Russia can't do wars of attrition anymore, as you can see. Not happening. But that's what we're going to hear. We're going to hear that all today. We're going to hear it all tomorrow. You're going to hear it on cable news. Oh, we got to get involved. We got to get involved. No, you haven't made the case to the American people. You haven't made the case as to why. And furthermore, you're not going to make the case, and you're not going to persuade anyone so long as we got people coming in through the southern border that are going and murdering college students and women. This is insane, this story coming out of Georgia. And I think, Trump shouldn't go. Let Biden go to the border. Unless Trump is going to meet there with Border Patrol himself, because they had the Border Patrol. I've said this before. And my patience, my chill with them is going to run out here real quick. The head of the Border Patrol Union. From what I understand, the members of the Border Patrol Union don't actually support the Border Patrol head. And again, it's a union. They look at this specifically as how does it benefit the union. Whereas we taxpayers, we don't have the luxury of looking at things that siloed. We have to look at how is it going to benefit us, the taxpayer? How is the supplemental going to help us? Is it going to lurch our kids and our loved ones towards having to get involved in a war? We have to think of all of these other things instead of just the siloed, just specifically this one issue, because Democrats won't pass a standalone bill about the border. And I honestly think I get that the Border Patrol Union is weighing their case here, and they think that this is going to get them in a little bit better position than something else. But if you lose your ass with foreign policy, you're not going to have much of a border left either. And I think it was stupid, and I think it was premature for the Border Patrol Union to get involved and make a statement about this, because it's not just about the border. If this was a straight-up standalone border bill, that would be one thing, but it's not. It is a bill that demands a heck of a lot more from the American taxpayer. And I think it is incredibly myopic for the Border Patrol Union head to go out there and do these and release this statement that sounds like Alejandro Mayorkas wrote it, to release this statement and to push for the passage of a giant bill that includes just a pittance for the border, because they think temporarily it's going to make things a smidge easier for them. I think I get it. Like I said, you're standing up for the folks that are in your union. And I would have been fine to just leave the sentiment at that, but he keeps pushing it. This Border Patrol Union head keeps pushing it. Now he's releasing statements. He's going to be at the border. Probably, I think he's going to be there in Brownsville with Biden. So now I feel like I got to get mad at him, because he's gone beyond my grace on this. And I think a lot of y'all's grace out there too. Because again, this isn't just a standalone bill about the border. This is about a lot of other stuff too. More billions that we don't have that we're going to be spending in higher taxes to send to Ukraine, to send to Gaza, You're talking about sending billions of American taxpayer dollars to a terrorist government in the Middle East. I didn't sign up for that. I don't care what smidge of the border it helps. So this Border Patrol union head, he needs to watch his P's and Q's because he's starting to put himself on the opposite end of this debate with the American people. And those are the last allies you got. Ridiculous. I think when it's a big, complicated bill like this, and I want to note that he did not include the nuance of only specifically talking about this portion of the bill. He hasn't given American taxpayers that courtesy. So why should I give him any? Again, this is about business of the country, not friends. He's been on the show before, but I don't have any patience for this. I mean, this is nuts. Where was he demonstrating this sort of energy with HR 2? I don't remember seeing that. Do you? Yeah, they had this post that he put up. And and I get it. Like I said, it's the union. It's the border union. So they got to sit here and they have to deal with, just specifically their union. But your union, the Border Patrol union, is also funded by the taxpayers. And we, the taxpayers, also have to think about everything that this portends instead of just specifically for this one aspect because it's a pittance. Should have been HR 2.